This is the Heavy Hitter Club channel.
This is where it's going to change the game completely. I'm going to activate it. Now, once you activate it, you go here to the dynamic schema, and you got to log in. So it'll ask for your username and password. And then you're going to have here for article schema. I'm going to go through article here because I don't have products on here for this, but it's a very similar situation. I'll show product first. The only difference is here you're going to put your brand, and this is the brand of the product. So if you're selling Nike hats, this would be Nike, not your company. Here's your seller. If you're the seller, then you put your seller ID here, and then you put the schemas down here. Product is going to do the exact same as article, minus these are just brand and seller instead of author and publisher. So what you do for this, and this is going to put schema on every article in your whole website in the matter of probably 5 minutes. So if I do author schema, right, what I'll have to do is I'm going to go back for this company. I'm going to go grab the author, which is this MWP owner, and say get code, which I already did that, so you don't have to wait. And then I paste it down here. Okay, so I just took that code, pasted it here, and I put the author ID right here, MWP owner. Where you get that from your thing is if you go back to your projects and you go to that person, Midwest Plumbing owner, it's whatever you put in this ID node reference right here, this cell. The demo I'm giving you now, I don't follow my best advice. Normally, I don't just put MWP owner. I put the actual web page of the author page on my website right here. I just didn't have that for this example, but technically I would put like this midwestplumbing.com/about or owner or, Steve Smith, whatever the guy's name is, right here is the same thing I would use for the node reference. So you put whatever's in that node reference right here. And then for publisher, if I want then the organization to also be the publisher, some do, some don't. Some people just like to use author. Some like to use author and publisher. If you want to make your organization the publisher, you do the same thing. You just go to the organization you want, this one here, and you grab whatever you did for its node reference ID. So MWP org, and you're going to paste that for the publisher. And then you're going to go down, and then you have to grab local business, MWP org. So you grab the code for that. And once you get that code, what you're going to do is you're going to paste it just down here at the bottom. Right? So you're going to paste the author code, and then you go below it and paste the publisher code is how that's going to work. So let me see how this takes. It takes quite a while for the code to generate. Right now, this is the workaround where you just have to do this the first time instead of the API just having to drop down to pick them, because WordPress sometimes blocks the API calls is the reason we're doing that. But once that generates, I'm going to show you the next piece that's for each article, because you can have article level control as well. Of course, I pick one that I've tested every node reference in here, so it's taking forever to generate, but you'll see how long the schema is once I throw this in there, because I tested every. So then you just copy this, and you go here and you paste it at the bottom, and you hit save. And you get a notification that says your schema has been saved. So what just happened right there in that save is now every article on this page has schema on it, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I go to copy link address, I'm going to go to validation, so you'll see the difference. I'll turn it off and then back on here in a second. So by doing what I just did, every page on my entire website has article schema that has the image, has the article body, has the URL, headline, descriptions, the name of the article, date published, date modified, the abstract, and then the author has the author and all the information about the author, what they own, where they went to school, same as, on and on and on. And then it has everything about the publisher. Let me find publisher down here. You can see how much it added.
That's a schema supercharged.
Yeah, there it is, publisher. I just pressed it. So, and then the publisher. So every article on my entire website now has that on every single article, has the author and the publisher that I put in there. Now, for example, if this article wasn't done by my, Ray Nally, the amazing plumber here, right? So if I go here to edit this post, I've got two options here. I can check this box if I just want to manually input all the schema that's on this page. So if I check that box, it just canceled schema for this page only, and whatever I put here is what would be put on that page.
It's an override. It's a script override.
It's a script override. It gets rid of the global script, and you can manually control it for an article. This is for articles where you want to go in grave detail about abouts and mentions and things like that, because dynamically we don't have pulling about and mention schema for your articles. I suggest you put about and the mention schema, but if you have 700 articles, you can put all that schema on there now, and then I would say the more important articles or the ones that are getting more traffic that you want to add the about and the mentions, build that in the schema generator, come here and check this box and just put it right here. Okay, that's what this first box is. If I pick the second box, this is, let's say that I want to do the same thing I did for global, except I have a different author, right? So let's say every now and then you have a guest post or you have a guest author or something like that. So instead of MWP owner, this might be MWP owner's kids or something, or one of your employees, right? Maybe it's an MW employee, right? So what you do is you check this box, you put the node to that author, you go find the other person. So here I've got this other person. So let's say it was person test 2. I would do this. I'd say get code. This will know how much in it, so it shouldn't take long. But you'll see the difference that I'll do for this one. But this is so if you have multiple authors, you can set your global thing as your main author. Okay. And then here's my ID person test 2. I know where it's at in here, but you can go get it the way I showed you before, but it's right here, the ID. So now what's going to happen is on this same article, I'm going to update it. Okay. And this is the same full septic tank symptoms. I'm going to do new test, and you'll see how much less schema is on here because I didn't do the publisher. And my author only had like 3 entries instead of all the connections and entries. So see how much, basically the author, all they had was their name and their URL. I didn't put what they owned. I didn't put the local business. I didn't put who they worked for, right? So that's where you can put that author, and then you can put the publisher, right? So for like this example, if I still want to have my publisher as if I still want to use the same publisher, I can do that. I can grab MWP org. Oops, wrong spot. I can put that here, and I can go grab MWP org from here. Instead of waiting for it to generate, I'll just grab it here real quick. So now in this article, what I'm going to have is that small piece for the publisher or for the author, but then a large amount for the publisher. As long as schema don't block me. I was testing this so much. Yeah, so here's my article. So you can see now I have, you scroll down, I have the author, which is just this little section right here, not very much. But now the publisher's been pulled in for this one. So what these do, this gives you post level control for dynamically creating it with different authors and organizations, or post level control if you want to completely build this within the Schema.tech or Schematect app and paste it in yourself. Or if you just want to go dynamic and you just build it from the global settings, you turn that off. So right now, every single post on here has schema on it. So when I did that dynamic piece and I go to all posts and I have 40 posts, all 40 of those pages got schema instantaneously for Google to crawl. And now every time I publish an article, it's going to use those settings of my author and my publisher and dynamically create schema for every single article you publish. The other thing we added to this is for pages. So if you go to a page, and let's just say here, I'll edit this one. You can see down here, you have the ability to put the page level schema on there.
You say dynamically. What information is dynamically added?
For a page?
Post.
None. For a post, I'll show you.
Post.
For a page, there isn't any. We
No,
probably
we
need to
don't.
get rid of that dynamic for a page, because a page is very crafted. The
It's
pages are,
static. It should be.
yeah, it's like your service. It's
Mhm.
not going to change, on and on and on. So it's whatever you put in this service page goes on the page for sewer. So if I had on this, so for example, I got plumbing, Indianapolis, I'd grab that code, I'd stick it right here in the Indianapolis page, and whatever I put in there is what's going to show up on the page. For the article, what's dynamically being created, I guess I can go here, is all this stuff. So abstracts, date published, date modified, the name of the article, the description, the headline, the URL, the article body.
So what I want
The
people to
image.
understand when you're explaining this is not that every post is going to be the same simply because you're pulling the same information. We are adding dynamic schema into each post according to what the post is. So each post, although it's going to have similar schema, is going to be unique in that it's inserting information about that post, man. This is what makes this, like, forget it. Like, forget it. Like, who's doing this? And who the hell is node referencing all of this? Like who the hell can? This is what's so exciting about this, and that in just a few minutes from what you saw Rob do, yes, you have to go and you have to enter the information. You have to fill out those blanks. That's manual. Yes, we get that, but it's manual everywhere else. It's not magic. It's manual. But once you take care of that manual part, the rest is just that simple, that easy. It's full. It's fleshed out. It's different schema for each one. Like, you're separating everything, not only from itself but from everybody else. That's how unique you're creating these pieces. And of course, your pages are going to be unique because you're setting up your pages, your page schema at this level in the schema generator. So it's two things that we're doing. We're uniquifying here, and then I don't know, more unification, if that's even a word, in WordPress. And there you go. I mean, that this is the fucking, that's the goal that we had, and we're not even there yet. So it's partly fulfilled. Rob just said WordPress, for whatever reason, we have a cron job. It does what's called a call. It's a call through the API every 10 minutes, so that if you change information on the website, it changes automatically in WordPress. WordPress doesn't like that for whatever reason. We've worked for this hours and hours. Caesar and Danny, the other developer, have been at this weekends, holidays, you name it. Sometimes up 3, 4 in the morning, sometimes up until 1, 2 in the morning, trying to get it so that that call doesn't get cut off. Because for some reason, even though it's making that call like every 10 minutes, sometimes WordPress just says something happened and it cuts off the call, so it's incomplete. It doesn't have the what do you call it, the schema, and it's just a mess. And so rather than do that, we turned off the call and just added this manual step until we fix the piece where we can store the information, rather than having to do it manually. It's just going to make a call over to our website and bring the information back to WordPress. So that is in the works. We're working on it. But like right now, all it is you generate it here in Schematect, you bring it over, paste it into your WordPress website. You have the header control where you insert. That's it. Paste the information. It will node reference the information with whatever you're pulling in dynamically for each post. And on each page, you're in control. So each page is unique anyway. And that's that. This is the Heavy Hitter Club channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell.